There is a reason you keep ending up at roughly the same financial level. You get a raise, and within months, your expenses rise to match. You start a side project that generates extra income, and somehow, something always pulls you back to the same range. A car repair, an unexpected bill, a decision you cannot quite explain. This is not bad luck, it is not poor discipline, it is a setting. In 1959, David Schwartz described a mechanism in the human mind that he called the thought thermostat. Just like the thermostat on your wall regulates temperature, your thought thermostat regulates success. When you go above its setting, your subconscious pulls you back down. When you drop below it, you fight to get back up. The setting, not your talent, not your effort, not your intelligence, determines the range. And the most unsettling part of Schwartz's research, most people never realize the thermostat exists. They think they are making free choices. They are not. They are regulating. This is the second video in a series we are building around The Magic of Thinking Big, a book that has sold over 6 million copies and contains some of the most underexplored psychological frameworks of the 20th century. In the first video, we diagnosed excusitis, the 4 strains of self-generated justification that keep intelligent people stuck. If excusitis is the disease, the thought thermostat is the operating system it runs on. This is the deeper layer. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly where your thermostat is set, why it is set there, and how to begin moving it. Schwartz observed that people do not set their financial or professional ceiling through conscious choice. They set it through belief. Not belief in a motivational sense, not, I believe in myself, affirmation territory. Belief in a structural sense, a deep, often invisible assumption about what is normal for someone like them. He called it thinking size. The size of your thinking determines the size of your results. Think about earning $40,000 a year, and your brain organizes your behavior around earning $40,000 a year. Think about earning $400,000, and the same brain organizes entirely different behavior. Not because you try harder, because the filter changes. You see different opportunities, you tolerate different risks, you make different decisions at breakfast. This is not visualization. This is not manifesting. This is behavioral economics before the field had a name. Schwartz was describing in 1959 what Daniel Kahneman would later formalize as the anchoring effect, the tendency for the human mind to lock onto a reference point and make all subsequent decisions relative to that anchor. Your thermostat is the anchor. It is the number your brain treats as normal. Everything above it feels risky. Everything below it feels unacceptable. You oscillate in a narrow band around that number your entire life, unless you consciously change the setting. Here is the evidence that Schwartz was right, delivered 60 years after he wrote it. The National Endowment for Financial Education studied lottery winners in North America and found that approximately 70% of people who receive a sudden financial windfall lose all of it within a few years. Not some of it, all of it. They return to the same financial level they occupied before the windfall, often worse. The standard explanation is irresponsibility. They spent too much, they trusted the wrong people, they did not invest wisely, and those explanations are technically true, but they miss the mechanism. The mechanism is the thermostat. A person whose thought thermostat is set at $50,000 a year receives $5 million. Their thermostat has not changed. Their behavior, guided by that thermostat, begins a systematic process of returning them to the range their brain considers normal. They overspend, not because they are stupid, but because their subconscious mind is literally uncomfortable with the surplus. The surplus feels wrong. The thermostat demands correction. Now, consider the opposite case. Studies of self-made millionaires who lost everything, through lawsuits, market crashes, business failures, show a striking pattern. The majority rebuild to a similar level of wealth within 5 to 10 years. They do not rebuild because they got lucky again. They rebuild because their thermostat is set higher. Their brain treats wealth as the baseline and works to return to it the same way the lottery winner's brain worked to return to scarcity. Same mechanism, different setting, that is the entire lesson. Schwartz identified one factor above all others that determines where your thermostat gets set: your environment, specifically, the people you spend the most time with. This is not networking advice. This is not surround yourself with successful people motivational language. This is a description of a psychological process called social calibration. Your brain, without your conscious input, constantly scans the people around you and adjusts its definition of normal based on what it observes. If the 5 people closest to you earn $50,000 a year, your brain calibrates 50,000 as the ceiling. Not because you are lazy, because your reference group has defined the range. Schwartz wrote that the biggest obstacle to thinking bigger is not internal doubt, it is environmental reinforcement. The people around you are not trying to hold you back. They are simply demonstrating a thermostat setting that your brain adopts as its own. This is where Schwartz's work connects to something we explored earlier on this channel. In our Richest Man in Babylon series, we covered the wealth rules, the mechanical systems for building financial stability. Save a portion of every earning. Make your money work for you. Seek counsel from competent people. Those are the rules. They are the system. The thermostat is why most people cannot follow them. You can know the rules perfectly. You can recite them from memory. But if your thermostat is set at a level where those rules feel unnecessary or unrealistic for someone like you, your brain will find a way to override them. The system without the belief produces nothing. The belief without the system also produces nothing. You need both. Schwartz prescribed a method he called trading up. The concept is simple, but the discipline is real. Trading up means deliberately exposing yourself to environments, conversations, and inputs that are set at a higher thermostat than your current one, not to imitate, not to pretend, to recalibrate. First, change your inputs. Schwartz observed that most people consume information that confirms their current thermostat. They read what people at their level read. They watch what people at their level watch. They discuss what people at their level discuss. Trading up means deliberately seeking input from one level above your current range. If you earn $50,000, study the thinking patterns of people who earn $150,000. Not their tactics, their thinking, how they frame risk, how they define normal, how they spend their mornings. Second, audit your language. Schwartz paid close attention to the words people used about money. He found that people with low thermostats consistently use small language. I just need to get by. That is too expensive for someone like me. Money is not everything. Each of those phrases reinforces the setting. The language is not neutral. It is instruction. Your subconscious hears your own words and treats them as commands. Trading up means catching the small language and replacing it. Not with delusion, with accuracy. I have not earned that yet is different from that is not for someone like me. The first is a status report. The second is a thermostat lock. Third, act at the next level before you arrive. This is Schwartz's most counterintuitive prescription. He argued that you cannot think your way to a higher thermostat and then start behaving differently. You must behave differently first. The thermostat follows behavior, not the other way around. Take the action that a person at the next level would take. Make the decision they would make, not recklessly, but deliberately. The behavior teaches the brain that the new range is survivable. And once the brain believes the range is survivable, it stops pulling you back down. Modern neuroscience has a name for what Schwartz described. It is called the brain's predictive processing framework. Your brain does not passively observe reality. It actively predicts what reality should look like based on prior experience. When reality matches the prediction, the brain relaxes. When reality deviates from the prediction, either higher or lower, the brain generates discomfort. That discomfort drives behavior change, always in the direction of returning to the prediction. This is why sudden wealth feels wrong to a person whose brain predicted scarcity. The brain's prediction model does not match the new input, so it generates anxiety, impulsive spending, self-sabotage, anything that brings reality back to the prediction. Resetting the thermostat is, neurologically, the process of updating the prediction model. You feed the brain new data, new inputs, new behaviors, new language, new environments. Each new data point slightly shifts the prediction. Over time, the brain builds a new model. The new range becomes the expected range, and the thermostat resets. Schwartz intuited this in 1959 without brain imaging. 67 years later, the imaging confirms he was right. Here is the full picture. Excusitis, which we diagnosed in the first video, is the symptom. The thermostat is the cause. You make excuses because your brain is protecting its current setting. You say, "I am not smart enough," or "people like me do not earn that kind of money," because those phrases keep the thermostat stable. Every excuse is a thermostat defense mechanism. The cure is not willpower. The cure is recalibration. Change your inputs, audit your language, act at the next level before you arrive. Feed the brain new data and give it time. The thermostat does not reset overnight. It resets through repetition, the same way it was set in the first place. In the next video, the final piece. David Schwartz identified one question that, applied to every significant decision, accelerates the thermostat reset faster than any other practice. It is the behavioral lever that turns awareness into daily action. If excusitis was the diagnosis, and the thermostat was the mechanism, the question is the tool. If this changed how you think about your own financial ceiling, share it with one person who keeps ending up at the same level. Not because it helps the channel, because they might be regulating without knowing it. Everything mentioned in this video, the book, the journal, the Babylon series, the full reading list, is in the description below. I will see you in the next one.